Salud, and welcome back to another episode of Hidden Agendas by Vox Terra. Today, the movie Spaceman Netflix release with Adam Sandler. This movie examined for its subtle social messaging. The plot, a mysterious, massive space cloud, purple in color, located somewhere near Saturn or Jupiter, and just by a random stream of consciousness, Purple Cloud reminds me of Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix. Adam Sandler's character voyages out to space alone, leaving his wife behind. His environment on this spacecraft is weightless. And I bring that up for two reasons that are somewhat interesting tangents. One, if you're into space and space settlement, my impression from my interest in it is that these long-distance voyages would be accompanied with artificial gravity, generally viewed through centrifugal force or through the use of centrifugal force. And number two, as I watched Adam's legs as he's floating around weightless, they started looking faker and faker as the movie went on. They never moved. Maybe a green screen and some CGI. Well, some spoilers start now. There is a stowaway on a spacecraft, a massive spider-like creature that always refers to Adam Sandler's character as Skinny Human.
Skinny Human?
And Skinny Human names the spider Hanush.
I will be called Hanush. Good. Hanush.
And the spider, Hanush, helps Skinny Human work through his personal issues on this long voyage. Estrangement from his wife.
Am I not allowed to dream?
Fuck!
When you dream, you leave.
As well as carrying on what Skinny Human calls the sins of his father.
You believe this great mission will atone for the sins of your father.
His dad, we learn, was an informer in a former Soviet republic in Eastern Europe.
My dad was a good man who did bad things. He was an informant for the party.
And in Skinny Human's words, was on the wrong side of history.
He was killed for what he believed was the truth.
Your father was a martyr?
He was on the wrong side of history.
Well, let's pause at this portrayal of the former Soviet Union and communism as on the wrong side of history and think about this revival of a Red Scare and why it's happening now and how we so often see it in media, even though the Soviet Union is long since gone and nearly the entire planet now is completely privatized. The Running Pig, a clear reference to the anti-communist book Animal Farm. Well, that unquestioning line must be pretty easy for someone like Adam Sandler to deliver. No offense, Adam Sandler, if you happen to be watching this. Capitalism, as it is now configured, probably worked out pretty well for him, in his opinion. And why do I put it that way is, so he thinks, even though he's wealthy. I'll get back to that. After the Soviet Union collapsed, Eastern Europe, in particular the former Yugoslavia, they descended, was often how it was described, into ethnic warfare, nationalistic warfare. I even heard terms like genocide being used for all the killings going on. Throughout Russia and many of the former Soviet republics, organized crime emerged stronger than ever. Extremes of wealth and poverty. And for us in the US of A and many of the other so-called capitalist world, free world, well, when that Soviet Union crumbled and the only real competitor to capitalism was lost, suddenly capitalism really seemed to have nothing more to prove. Wealth and poverty disparities within our own nation increased. Our education seemed to be dumbing down. But as to why now, well, not only that, these extremes occurring again, the extremes with our environment, the extremes with our climate. Because no matter how wealthy someone is, no matter how much they feel they've benefited from our system as it is now configured, they cannot escape the fact that our biosphere is being pumped full of greenhouse gases, carcinogens, endocrine disruptors, and neurotoxins. And as our planet is heating, we still see a human race locked into a buy, sell, buy, need it or don't economic system. And that is so obvious that I think is the reason why anti-communism, anti-socialism seems to be getting a lot of media currency now, even though there is really no threat from it. Hanush refocuses Skinny Human on the personal by almost mocking or subtly putting down his quest for a great discovery. Your great discovery, human, Skinny Human.
With all our findings, you are still focused on your great discovery.
And yes, I agree that many of us, if not all of us to some extent, within our culture, are taking our personal relationships for granted, not truly valuing the beauty of them. But I would say this putting down of a great discovery, Skinny Human, ties in with what I still consider dominant thinking. The dominant, don't even try to settle space mindset.
You chose to flee your planet, yet that act is destructive to you.
Which to me is similar to, and I realize most of my viewers would probably disagree, to climate denial, opposing wind turbines because they're sort of tall and different. No, it's all just go about business as usual and mock or put down those wanting something better. And in keeping with that, in my opinion, Hanush tells Skinny Human the universe is as it should be.
The universe is as it should be.
And all of that reminds me of don't worry, be happy. Everything happens for a reason, or people telling me in the 90s, don't question the warm Christmas, enjoy it. And I alluded to the fact that I perceive this purple haze, this purple cloud, much of this seems very psychedelic, which seems reminiscent of a drug trip.
When I was young, I caught its grains on my tongue.
And they lead up to marijuana legalization. It seemed like that theme kept repeating within media until it happened. Now I feel I'm seeing a similar theme about psychedelics repeating until that happens too. And in both cases, that will become another major self-reinforcing, self-perpetuating industry.
Perhaps we will experience it together.
Well, I hope you found this critique interesting, helpful, informative, entertaining. If so, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. You've clicked that there notification bell so you know when I'm putting up a new video. You are liking, you are commenting, you're donating a Patreon. Thank you, Bella Grusi and Environmental Coffee House. And as always, until next time, live long and prosper. That's Spock. Peace be with you.